Hey Brad, I'm Aiden. I'm 22 and I'm freshly out of college. I wanted to tell you a little bit of story with a question at the end. The main thing is this is tying around the whole political assassination culture. See, to start off, I'm a lesbian who voted for Trump. And one of the most hardest things I've gone through was, especially after the 2024 election, was slowly unfriending all these people who were saying if you voted for Trump, kill yourself. If you voted for Trump and you're a lesbian or a woman, you turn your back against women. And that was just painful. So to my own surprise, at my own group, these people that I'm actually friends with who aren't actually aware of my political stance, we're all advocating for this violence. And especially violence around, well, killing of the president. My main question is that should I call them out on this stuff? Because at this point, it started off as a joke and it's not a joke anymore. And I don't know what to do because, some of the stuff they say literally threatens my own father, who is a Republican man. And, well, hi. Thank you, Brad. I love your podcast.
Wow. So first of all, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. And it's just a sign of the times and how deranged everything has become that people are actually treating each other like this because of political disagreements. When I opened up the voice notes, guys, I got over 100 from you guys just in a couple of days. And so many of them were about this, about friends and family cutting people off because of politics. And it's so tragic. But this one is particularly disturbing because setting our differences aside, it is not okay to support political violence. It is not okay to want to kill people or wish harm on them because you disagree with them politically. And that's like a very basic premise or fact here. Now, I'm a big believer that sometimes when you have friends or family members of very different political views, the best thing to do can be to just not talk about it. You're not going to change their mind. They're not going to change yours. But in this case, I do feel differently. Because at some point, there is a line in the sand where you have to stand up for your values. And if they are openly wishing harm on people like you, people like your father, if they're openly talking about killing the president of the United States, if they're just saying they wish it would happen, that's one thing. If they're actually talking about it or talking about doing it, you need to contact the police. But if they're just joking about it or saying, oh, hope it happens soon or something like that, you should call them out. And it doesn't have to be, you putting them on blast. You don't have to send them a text paragraph about how terrible they are. I would simply say, how would you have felt if Republicans talked that way about Biden? I thought we all believed in democracy. I thought we all believed that in this country, we get to pick our elected leaders and we solve our differences at the ballot box, not with bullets or other kinds of acts of violence. And I would challenge them in that kind of a way. And make it clear that, look, you're talking about violence because it sounds like they're talking about violence against Trump supporters, not just Trump, about people I love. And I also think you should be able to tell them if you're truly close with these people that you are a lesbian Republican. That shouldn't have to be a secret. There's nothing wrong with you. You're entitled to your opinion and your perspective and to vote for whoever you'd like. And if they really finding that information will make them disown you and hate you, that's tough. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's an easy call. They were never your real friends, anything like that. But at some point, if you're hiding a big part of yourself because you know they'd hate you if they knew about it, they already hate you and they just don't know it. You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to something this serious, there is a point where it's not just a disagreement you can just ignore, right? Like we disagree about abortion, so we don't talk about it. Okay. Like I have family members where there's issues like that where we both feel strongly, we're not going to change each other's minds. So why debate it and argue about it? Just let it aside. When we're talking about violence against people, when you're talking about this kind of drastic, dangerous rhetoric, I do think at some point you have a responsibility to call it out. And I would recommend doing it in the way that I said. And if they can't handle that, if they lash out at you or if they kick you out of the group or unfriend you or whatever, ultimately that's on them and you'll be able to know that you did the right thing. So my heart goes out to you and good luck dealing with what sounds like a really toxic social environment right now. I'm really sorry you have to go through that.